Ladies and gentlemen, let me break it down to you the way it is. See, men are simple. We might act tough. We might act like we got it all figured out. But the truth is, we are wired to respond to how a woman makes us feel. You don't need a magic spell. You don't need to bend over backwards. You just need to understand 3 beautiful behaviors that make a man not just fall, but stay addicted to you. Men fall for consistency in how you make them feel, not just what you say. You can tell a man you love him all day long, but if your actions don't line up with your words, it won't stick. A man becomes truly connected, truly addicted, when the way you treat him consistently makes him feel respected, valued, and understood. That's what goes deeper than any compliment or temporary gesture. It's the daily energy you bring, the way you carry yourself around him, the small details that show him that you don't just care about his presence, you care about his peace. See, men are wired to search for safety in how a woman makes them feel. Most men out here are dealing with pressure. They got the world telling them to be strong, telling them to provide, telling them to never break down, even when they're carrying the weight of everything. So when he comes to you, he's not looking for somebody to add more weight. He's looking for the place where he can breathe. That doesn't mean you have to fix all his problems. It means you become the one space in his life where he doesn't feel judged for being human. If he finds that peace with you, it's like oxygen to him. That consistency, that safe space is what makes him hold on to you tighter. Now, here's the mistake people make. They think it's the big grand gestures that lock a man in, when in reality, it's the little consistent behaviors. If you celebrate his small wins, if you acknowledge his effort, even when he falls short, you're showing him something the world rarely gives him: appreciation. That's the kind of feeling that sticks in a man's memory. He will never forget the woman who made him feel like he mattered when nobody else seemed to know. And trust me, men, don't get addicted to looks alone. Looks fade, trends change, but the way you made him feel respected, that's what he carries for life. It's not about being perfect, it's about being steady. Consistency is attractive because it tells him he can trust you. When your actions line up with your words, he sees that you're reliable. And let me tell you, reliability is rare. You'll realize how much power you have when a man knows he can count on you. When you say you're going to be there and you actually show up. When you promise support and you deliver it. That consistency doesn't just build attraction, it builds loyalty. A man addicted to your consistency is a man who sees you as irreplaceable. Think about it. If one day you're warm and loving, but the next day you're distant and cold, he doesn't know what to hold on to. He doesn't know if the love he felt yesterday will still be there tomorrow. That creates insecurity. But when your energy is steady, when he knows who you are and how you'll treat him regardless of what's happening, he can let his guard down. And when a man lets his guard down with you, that's when he starts falling deep. You see, men aren't out here chasing perfection, even though sometimes they act like it. They're chasing that consistent good feeling. And you don't need to overdo it. You just need to be intentional. Make sure your words match your actions. Make sure your care isn't conditional. Let him feel like he doesn't have to perform for you every second just to keep your affection. That's when he relaxes, and that's when he bonds. Every man has a place he goes to for comfort. For some it's sports, for some it's their work, for some it's hanging with friends. But when you become that comfort for him, when being with you feels better than any of that, you've got him. And you don't get that position through tricks. You get it through consistent behavior. Show him that your love doesn't switch on and off like a light. Show him that your respect doesn't disappear when he stumbles. Show him that he can count on you to be the same woman tomorrow that you were today. When a man feels that, it's not just love he develops. It's a kind of addiction. He craves your presence because it gives him what the world wants: peace, respect, and certainty. That consistency is what separates a temporary fling from a lifelong bond. Respect and admiration fuel a man's soul like oxygen. Every man out here wants to feel like he is seen, like he matters, like his effort isn't invisible. The truth is, a man can walk through a world full of people and still feel invisible until he meets a woman who sees him differently. That feeling, that respect, that admiration, it hits deeper than any physical attraction. A man might be drawn to beauty, but he becomes addicted to respect. That's because respect speaks to his spirit, to the part of him that longs to know he has worth in the eyes of the woman he loves. See, the world can tear a man down in seconds. His job can make him feel like he's not enough. Society can tell him he's failing. His friends might clown him. His family might pressure him. But when he comes home to a woman who admires him, who acknowledges what he's trying to do, suddenly he feels like he's standing taller. A man's pride is not arrogance, it's fuel. And the woman who adds to that fuel gives him strength he didn't even know he had. That's why respect is not optional in love. It's the foundation. Now, admiration doesn't mean you ignore his flaws or pretend he's perfect. It means you highlight his effort. You let him know you notice when he tries, even if the outcome wasn't perfect. A man might fail in the world, but if he succeeds in your eyes just for showing up and fighting, he'll keep going. That's the beauty of admiration. It encourages a man to be his best self without forcing him to be flawless. You're not worshiping him. You're honoring the fact that he's showing up, he's trying, he's giving what he can. That simple acknowledgement, it feeds him. Men crave respect even more than love sometimes. You can love a man and still disrespect him with your words, your tone, your actions. But when you show him that you admire his effort, when you let him know you trust his judgment, when you make him feel like he's capable, he will give you everything, because men are wired to give back to the women who pour into them this way. Respect is like a mirror. When you show it to him, he reflects it right back on you. Think about it like this. A man might get attention from others, but admiration is different. Admiration says, I see who you are, I value what you bring, and I believe in what you can become. That belief is powerful. A man addicted to your admiration is a man who doesn't want to lose you, because you become the one person who makes him feel unstoppable. He can face failure in the world, but as long as he has admiration at home, he doesn't quit. That's how men are built. They fight harder when they know someone is clapping for them, even in the dark moments. And here's the thing, respect is shown not just in what you say, but in how you treat him. The tone of your voice matters. The way you talk about him in front of others matters. The way you either build him up or tear him down in private, that matters even more. A man will forget some arguments, he will forgive some mistakes, but he never forgets the feeling of being disrespected. And on the other side, he never forgets the woman who made him feel respected, even when he didn't feel like much of a man himself. That woman stays in his heart forever. It doesn't take much to admire a man. You don't need grand speeches. It can be as simple as saying, I'm proud of you, or I trust you, or I know you're trying. Those words sink deeper than you think. A man addicted to admiration becomes more committed, more protective, and more devoted because he doesn't want to lose the one person who sees him as valuable when the rest of the world is blind. So understand this. Respect and admiration aren't just nice extras in a relationship. They are the oxygen a man breathes. Without them, he suffocates, he pulls away. He looks for air somewhere else. With them, he flourishes. He stands taller and he becomes addicted to you because you gave him something the world never could, belief in his worth. Playful energy keeps the spark alive and makes you unforgettable. A man might meet a lot of women in his lifetime, but the one who stands out is the one who makes him laugh, the one who reminds him not to take life too seriously, the one who brings joy even in the middle of chaos. See, men are like kids at heart. No matter how grown, how tough, or how serious they act, they crave a certain lightness. They crave a space where they can be themselves without pressure. And nothing creates that bond stronger than playful energy. When a man feels like you can laugh with him, joke with him, tease him in a way that's loving and fun, you instantly become different. Because let's be real, life is heavy. Every day men walk through stress, through responsibilities, through battles that nobody even sees. And when he comes around you, he doesn't want that same heaviness. He doesn't want to lecture every time. He doesn't want to feel like he's on trial. He wants to breathe. He wants to feel like there's sunshine when he's with you. Playful energy is that sunshine. That doesn't mean you're silly or childish. It means you know how to keep the spark alive. You don't let the relationship turn into a routine of just paying bills, solving problems, and discussing stress. You bring balance by sprinkling in laughter, by knowing how to flip a bad day into a light one. If he comes home drained and you can put a smile on his face with just your presence, that's the kind of memory that sticks. And that's what makes a man addicted, because you become his relief, his joy, his reminder that life can still be fun. Men don't always admit this, but they're drawn to women who let them feel like themselves. If you can joke with him, if you can laugh at his goofy side, if you can create inside jokes only the two of you share, you've built something powerful. That bond becomes sacred because it's not about what you have, it's about what you share. And playful energy creates those unforgettable moments. The jokes, the laughter, the teasing, it builds intimacy in a way that words can't describe. Think about it. Most men are already carrying the weight of being strong, being responsible, being in control. When he finds a woman who allows him to relax, who brings out the boy in him without judgment, that woman becomes irreplaceable, because deep down, every man wants to feel free. And when your playful energy gives him that freedom, he doesn't just like you, he craves you. He wants to be around you because you remind him that life is more than stress and survive. Playful energy also keeps attraction alive. You can be beautiful, smart, successful, but if everything with you is always serious, it starts to feel heavy. On the other hand, when you keep that spark, that lightness, he starts associating you with joy. And joy is addictive. He will look forward to your presence. He will miss you when you're gone. He will replay those little moments of laughter in his mind because they gave him peace in a world that rarely does. It doesn't take big acts to show playful energy. Sometimes it's the little things. Dancing in the kitchen while cooking, playfully teasing him when he's too serious, sending him a funny text just to break up his day. Those small actions carry a big weight because they cut through the routine and remind him that love should feel alive. Men hold on to that because it makes them feel young again. It makes them feel light again. And let me tell you, when a man finds that in you, he doesn't forget it. He can meet someone beautiful, someone smart, someone impressive, but if she can't make him laugh, if she can't make him feel that lightness, she won't stay on his mind the way you will. Because playful energy is not about looks. It's about the feeling you give him. And that feeling is rare. So when you bring playful energy, you're not just making him smile in the moment, you're planting memories that he will replay over and over. You're creating an atmosphere where he feels safe, free, and happy. And that's what makes him addicted. Because nothing compares to the joy of being with someone who knows how to make life beautiful through laughter and lightness. Genuine support in his struggles makes him see you as irreplaceable. A man can find people to celebrate with when things are good, but it's rare to find someone who sticks through the storms. Most men, when they go through tough times, find themselves standing alone. Friends disappear, family gets quiet, and the crowd that once cheered fades away. But when a woman stands with him in that valley, when she chooses not to abandon him during the struggle, she carves her name into his soul. That kind of loyalty is unforgettable, and it turns into the glue that holds a man close for life. See, men are wired to want to fix things, to want to carry the weight and provide answers. But the truth is, even the strongest man has moments where he doubts himself, where he feels tired, where the pressure is too much. He might not always say it out loud, but he feels it deep. And in those moments, he's not looking for someone to solve his problems. He's looking for someone who will not walk away. Genuine support isn't about giving him solutions. It's about giving him presence. It's about saying, I'm with you, even here. That reassurance becomes fuel for him to keep fighting. The world only sees success. The world claps when the man wins. But behind every man who made it, there's usually someone who believed when nobody else did. That belief is priceless. A man will never forget the woman who said, I trust you, I believe in you, I've got your back, when he was at his lowest point, because in that moment, she wasn't just his partner, she was his anchor. And an anchor is something you don't let go of once you've been saved by it. When you support a man in his struggles, you're not just comforting him, you're shaping how he sees you. He begins to realize that you're not temporary. You're not just here for the good times or for the shine. You're here for the grind, the dirt, the tears, and the rebuilding. That kind of loyalty stands out because it's rare. Many people love the finished product, but only a few love the process. And when you love him through the process, you become the person he never wants to live without. And let's be real, men don't always express gratitude right away. Sometimes they're too caught up in the storm to show it. Sometimes they're too focused on trying to climb back up. But believe this, he notices, he remembers. He carries the memory of your support like a tattoo. Later, when the dust settles, that's the thing that makes him protect you, commit to you, and honor you in ways you didn't even ask for. Because deep down, he knows when the world counted him out, you didn't. That makes you irreplaceable. Now, support doesn't mean you lose yourself. It doesn't mean you become his crutch. It means you become his partner. Sometimes support looks like listening without judgment. Sometimes it looks like reminding him of who he really is when he's forgotten. Sometimes it's giving him space, and sometimes it's stepping in with encouragement. Support has many forms.